Some people treat the gym like a religion. They post progress photos, track every gram, and talk about gains like it's a personality. And then there's you, and you feel nothing. You look at the fitness fanatics and you don't feel inspired. You feel confused, indifferent, or quietly annoyed. If the idea of a 6 a.m. class, a crowded weight room, or a coach yelling one more rep makes you want to disappear, pay attention. Psychology doesn't call you broken, it calls you different. Here's what people don't say out loud. Not caring about the gym doesn't automatically mean you're lazy. It doesn't prove you lack discipline. It doesn't mean you don't care about your health. It means the gym doesn't reward your brain the way it rewards theirs. Start with the obvious question. Why do some people get obsessed with working out? For a lot of gym lovers, exercise hits their reward system hard. Dopamine goes up, endorphins go up, stress drops for a while. Their brain learns a simple rule: effort leads to payoff. So they chase that payoff again. They call it motivation. It's reinforcement. Now look at you. You do the same workout and the payoff feels small, delayed, or missing. You finish and you don't feel proud. You feel tired. You feel bored. You feel like you spent energy and got nothing back. This isn't in your head. People differ in how strongly exercise activates reward circuits. Animal studies show the same split. Some brains light up from running, others don't. In humans, it can look the same. Some people get a strong mood lift from training, some get a weak one, some get none. So when a gym person tells you, once you start, you'll love it, you hear a promise, your brain hears something that doesn't match your experience, not because exercise can't help you, but because your reward system doesn't attach pleasure to it fast. And that's where the gap forms. They think you need willpower, you need a different reason, you need an incentive that fits your wiring, not their lifestyle. Maybe you are one of those people. While your friend's brain is throwing a dopamine party after 50 burpees, your brain is like, nope, this is just pain and boredom. And here's a kicker. Some of us get our feel-good chemicals from totally different activities. Maybe your passion is your chemistry. You might get a rush from reading, gaming, creating art, deep conversations, things that flood your brain with dopamine or endorphins in a way the gym never could. So when fit people insist, oh, you'll love it once you start, you silently doubt it because you know your brain isn't handing out reward medals for time on the treadmill. Now, let's talk about the social side. Walking into a busy gym can feel like stepping onto an unwelcome stage. Bright lights, strangers grunting and preening. If you're not already into it, that scene can be downright alienating. For some, that gym energy is inspiring. The group classes, the shared struggle, the high fives. But for you, it might feel like a performance you never auditioned for. You become hyper aware of yourself. How do I look? Am I doing this right? Are people judging me? If you've got even a hint of social anxiety or insecurity, a gym isn't just a gym. It's a hall of judgment. The term gymtimidation exists for a reason. A crowded weight room can spike your stress hormones instead of your endorphins. Maybe you felt it, you try a machine you've never used and immediately feel eyes on you, or so you think. Your brain goes into fight or flight, and guess which one it chooses? Flight, right out the door, never to return. It's not that you hate fitness, you hate feeling like a spectacle. And honestly, who wouldn't? In a way, your aversion is a self-protective instinct. You're keeping yourself safe from an environment that feels psychologically punishing. Let's get personal for a second. Your history with exercise matters. Many people who avoid gym culture have some battle scars from the past. Maybe you were the kid who dreaded PE class, picked last for teams, mocked for not being fast or strong. Maybe a coach or a parent shamed you when you struggled with a drill. Or you might have grown up equating working out with punishment. Think forced laps for losing a game, or exercise used as discipline. Those experiences stick. The next time you even smell a gym, your brain serves up a buffet of negative emotions. Embarrassment, anxiety, frustration. It's like muscle memory, but for your feelings. And what do humans do when something hurts? We avoid it. Psychologists have found that feeling shame about your body or abilities makes you more likely to avoid exercise. One study showed that people who feel judged or stigmatized for their body size tend to steer clear of workouts. No kidding, right? If the gym makes you feel inadequate or unwelcome, of course you're not racing to get your membership card. In that sense, staying away isn't laziness, It's an emotional self-defense strategy. You're protecting your self-esteem and mental well-being. And that's a pretty rational thing to do when you think about it. Now here's something you might recognize. The internal narrative that plays in your head. It goes something like this. I really should exercise, but I just don't want to. I'll start next week, maybe. Ugh, I'm so bad for not doing it, but whatever, it's not that important, right? I walk a lot, that counts. Actually, who cares? Those gym bros practically live at the gym. I have a life. I'm fine. I'm fine. Am I fine? Sound familiar? It's a little mental ping pong of guilt and justification. One day, you're feeling guilty because society, and maybe your doctor, and every other ad on TV tells you that you should be lifting weights and doing cardio 30 minutes a day. You scroll past a friend's workout post and feel a twinge. Am I lazy? But the next day, when someone pressures you about not hitting the gym, a flicker of defensiveness kicks in. I have different priorities, okay? I'm busy. I take walks. Not everyone needs to be a gym rat. You might even feel a strange pride in not being obsessed like them. It's like you're secretly thinking, I'm not a follower of your gym cult, I'm doing just fine my own way. This inner dialogue doesn't mean you're indecisive, it means you're human. You're trying to reconcile the pressure to conform with the truth of who you are. On one hand, you suspect maybe you are making excuses. On the other, you genuinely know that the traditional fitness grind just isn't you. So you oscillate between guilt and indifference, defensiveness and acceptance. Meanwhile, a pattern has been quietly reinforcing itself. Think of it as a habit loop: trigger, avoidance, relief, repeat. Maybe the trigger is a New Year's resolution or a friend's invite to spin class. You initially say yes because, well, you should try. Then as the day approaches, dread sets in, the discomfort, the anticipated boredom or embarrassment. You bail, sorry, something came up. And immediately you feel a wave of relief. Safe at home, not panting on a stationary bike in a room full of strangers. That relief is powerful. Your brain takes notes. Avoiding the gym, outside library, feeling better? So the next time, it's even easier to skip. You've taught yourself that avoidance pays off, at least in the short term. Psychologists call this negative reinforcement. Removing the thing that causes stress makes you feel good, thereby reinforcing the avoidance. Over time, the idea of going to the gym starts to feel even more foreign, even more of a not me thing. And ironically, the more you don't go, the more intimidating it becomes to ever start. Now let's consider the consequences of not obsessing over the gym, and they're not all bad. Sure, you might not have the Insta-worthy physique or the mile time your fitness fanatic friends boast about. Maybe you do worry about your health sometimes, or you wish climbing stairs didn't leave you winded. Those could be real downsides of avoiding exercise entirely. But many people who disengage from gym culture aren't sedentary slugs, they just approach activity differently. You might be the person who walks everywhere, or who loves a good hike in nature, or who will dance like a maniac at a concert, cardio by accident. Perhaps you play with your kids or your dog in the yard until you're sweaty and laughing. Or you tackle DIY projects that have you lifting and moving without a second thought. In other words, you stay active in life, not in a designated hour on a treadmill. The next time someone tries to shame you for skipping leg day or not grinding hard enough, remember this: you're not a bad person for not enjoying the gym. You're not weak. Your motivation and joy just come from elsewhere. In fact, it takes a certain strength to know yourself and quietly refuse to bend to the pressure. Sure, exercise is important for health, nobody's denying that, but there's no law that says it has to happen on gleaming machines in a room full of spandex-clad strangers. There are many ways to care for your body and mind. Maybe your way is gentler, or more creative, or just less Instagrammable. That doesn't make it less valid. By now, you can see that not obsessing over the gym is not a moral failing. It's a different way of being, one that is shaped by your unique psychology. So if you're the person who'd rather stroll around the neighborhood or curl up with a book than hit the elliptical, know this: you're not alone, and you're not wrong. Your relationship with your body and health is just that, yours. Own it. And the next time someone says, dude, you have to start working out, you can smile and think to yourself, I am working on something. It's called living my life on my own terms. In the end, the psychology of people who don't obsess over the gym comes down to autonomy and authenticity. You've found other ways to feel good, to be healthy, to be you, without logging hours on a treadmill. And perhaps the strongest thing of all is knowing that a life doesn't have to revolve around the gym to be worth living well. In fact, a life can be rich and significant without a single protein shake or PR, and deep down, you know that. That insight, that confidence to define health and happiness for yourself, is its own kind of strength. And no amount of bench presses can measure that.